Good evening. This is the Athens City Shade Tree Commission meeting for September the 13th, 2018. We have no Title 33 or Title 37 issues. I do have a report from Ron Lucas that I'm going to read from. He wants to schedule our Arbor Day for Friday, October 19th at 2 p.m. He is looking at having it at West Elementary this year. Or at least in an area where West Elementary students can walk to it easily. And he says he plans to have the event at 2 p.m. So that may be an event that some of us can attend.
What's the date again?
The October 19th, Friday, in the afternoon at 2 p.m. He's working on the fall planting. He's asking us if we have any particular sites to let him know. So if you want to send them to me or to him, I'll make sure they get on to Ron. He's planning for that to occur late October, early November. He says he's meeting with Council Member Chris Fowle tomorrow, September 14th, to discuss tree management in our rights of way. And that's all I've got on that item. A community service project was held on Tulane on Saturday, September the 1st. 40 people volunteered to help from the OU Student Senate, and they planted 10 trees along the creek. This is the creek that runs along the Tulane area off East State Street. And finally, he says we have one of our landscapers registered to take a certified arborist class and take the test. This will be a welcome addition to our continuing training opportunities for our city staff. So yes, that's a good idea to get more of our city staff trained as certified arborists. And are there any questions that I may be able to enlighten people on, or I'll pass on to Ron? If there's...
Is there a role that he wants us to play in this? Or no?
In what?
The Arbor Day thing.
Show up. Be there to be encouraging. It's one of those days. Yeah, Friday's not a day when I can be there in the afternoon. But I'm sure he'll give us more information as we get close to the date. And we will have our next meeting before that Arbor Day meeting. And I know in the past, David, you've helped out sometimes on these events.
I should be able to make that.
Okay.
Sure.
Any other comments or questions on Ron's report? Okay, well, under other business, I'd first like to deal with the policy that I brought up at our last meeting to do with the details of how we notify the public of our meetings, and also what information will be going into our minutes. So this is the policy on meetings and minutes that you should all have a copy of. And for some reason I can't find my copy, so I'll share Peter's copy. I have shared this with the law director, and she's quite happy with it as it stands. I think all it does is it just firmly establish for future tree commission members exactly what we are doing, because we've been trying to do some of this in the past. I would say we've not been successful at getting all the plans into the minutes, but we're going to make a real attempt now to make sure that every plan that we approve is now attached to our minutes. And this means that you can go to the city website. Once the minutes have been uploaded to the city website, you'll be able to go there and look back at past minutes, because that is the public repository of our minutes. And once our minutes are approved, I pass them on to Tonya Baker. She then uploads them, or has them uploaded to that site. So are there any questions or further discussion about the policy?
Yeah, David, under procedures in the second paragraph, the first sentence starts off, whenever more than 2 commissioners meet to discuss shade tree commission business. And then the third line down, this is particularly to include any site meetings that involve 2 or more.
Okay. Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
It should be 3 or more.
Right.
Yeah. That
or more than 2.
Yeah, or more than 2 commissioners that involve more than 2 commissioners. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it now reads that involve more than two commissioners.
Yeah. That makes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
consistent.
So
Yes.
two can conspire. but-
Two can conspire, but three have to have a public meeting. Yes.
David, one other just quick clarification. Does this also include site visits?
It does
So-
include site visits, yes.
Okay, I've only gone myself on site visits, but if more than 2 people go on a site visit, then
It's a public meeting.
that's
That's
public.
what led to
And
the
we'd have to
whole-
have some minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
but-
And so all I've got to do is I have to notify Scott Thompson that we're going to have a site visit like this at least 24 hours in advance.
If you know that more than 2
Yes.
are going to show up.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But that has happened. We've had meetings where we've decided the following Saturday, a group of us are going to go there, and so if the meeting is on a Thursday night, I've got to make sure I send it out
Right.
as soon as I can to make sure that it's then publicised that we're going to do this.
And if we're just pruning, do we need to take minutes?
No, as long as we're not all together.
All right. But if we're all
As long
together.
as we're not working as a tree commission, yeah.
It sounds like it's just for a site visit in which there's
Yeah,
going to be a
right.
decision made.
Although it could actually pose an interesting one when we're doing the vine clearing along the
Right,
bike
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
If there's three commissioners present, is that a meeting? Yes. A good. Yeah.
But if we stay 30 feet
Well, it says
apart, then we're okay.
whenever they meet to discuss Shade Tree Commission business.
Yes. Yeah. So as long as we're not talking to
Don't
each other, we're
talk.
fine.
Yeah, no
Right.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if we're happy with this policy, and again, we can always come back and change it later. It's these policies are simply the way that we decide we are going to conduct business. If we're happy with this, then are there any objections to this becoming a formal policy of the Commission? Hearing no objections, we have a policy. Good, thank you. Nancy, do you want to introduce your piece
Oh, yeah.
on the benefits of trees?
I've handed this out to the group
you have a
already,
copy of it?
and it's
Yes.
as you can see, it's a list of benefits. What I did was I went to the website, Benefits of Trees, and various advocates have posted a website there, including Arbor Day and a couple of others, the Forestry Department and Agriculture and Consumer Protection also. So anyway, there are lots of ideas, and I tried to take the ones that I thought were most relevant to where we are and what we're doing, and list them. But I've had some feedback that I was a little too wordy, so we probably want to cut back on some of the words, because here's the idea that I'd had: something real simple and cheap that we could give to lots of different people. Have a lot
Can I
ready.
just pass
to
it
give
this way?
And I have more of them. Anyway,
Yeah, they're here.
so if we could cut it down to a one-pager, that would be even better.
Okay. I like how it's organized, where you have health and community well-being, economic benefits, conservation,
good.
environmental impact. I don't think it would be difficult to
Abbreviate
slim it down a little bit.
Yeah. Good. Well, I thought maybe if you could just mark up your sheets and give me ideas of what you think
Okay.
might be a good idea. And then I can do a combination of all those things and bring it back.
Good. So if you've got suggestions as to which points you think are the really important ones, or if you can think of particular ways to display some of these things, then it'd be useful if you give the feedback to Nancy.
We might have a more extended version on the website. I mean, I don't know, but
that's an idea.
so that people could go there. But then if we make I envision like a trifold that people can look at, and
Yeah.
it will be like,
I was just thinking of a single sheet like this.
well,
Yeah, well, the trifold idea is the one where you have a little pamphlet like this that's folded up. So you've got then 3 panels that open up, and you've got a
yeah,
back.
and then
you've got back
it's sort
panels
of
as well.
more.
I like this big picture across the top.
It
Yes.
like more. It's more digestible because you can have like people are daunted sometimes by if they have a full page. They'll say, "Oh, okay, well I'll read that later," and then it may go to recycling before.
Yeah, that's a good idea, the trifold.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing to think about is what kind of picture we might want to put in what
Like one of a tree?
yeah. I mean,
What we need
What
are
species of tree? That will be our conversation.
not only that, but what kind of characterizes Athens? What is the good emblem for Athens?
A nice tree shading a house.
Yeah.
because one of the things
Providing,
A parking lot.
or a park.
one of the things
tree
we
in a
need to be
parking lot.
careful of is copyright on all this.
Yeah.
If we're going to use pictures, we need to make sure we have the copyright on them. And that actually applies to some of the quotes that you're taking there. I'm sure these organisations won't object, but we will need to attribute them to whoever where we are taking them from.
Well, if we cut them down on that, they won't be anybody.
Well, if we reword them, they're ours then.
And you've addressed where they're from anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Briefly, yeah.
And most of them have been cut back,
Yeah.
so they're not exactly taken
Yeah.
straight from the piece.
No, I think this is a very laudable starting point to this. It's certainly something we need. And so if you can give feedback to Nancy on this, and maybe we can move ahead and try and get something worked up in terms of graphic
And keep
design.
your eye open for a nice tree.
Yes. Good examples within Athens we can take pictures of. Is there any other business that people want to discuss at the meeting tonight?
There was supposed to be, a neighbor of mine said she was coming tonight because they are reforming in the Arbor Day thing. I don't know whether she's working with Ron or what. I didn't think to ask. But she was, and they're not here. I'm surprised.
Okay.
Did you heard anything about that?
No.
Okay.
But, there's certainly, the public are certainly welcome to come to our meetings and
That's
contribute.
what I said. Come.
Yeah. So is there any other topic? If not, we have the minutes of the last meeting. And what you have in front of you is just the single sheet. I do have the attachments, the email that I got from Rick and the plan. So if you do want to
Could have
check
made a
that.
trifle.
I was running out of paper on my printer. That's why you didn't get it, and that's also why I didn't print off the agenda either. As I say, I ran out of paper. So, are there any comments on I think it's October. Has anyone got a calendar in front of them?
Yes.
Good. Can you tell me what the second Thursday of October is?
Yes. The second Thursday in October is the 11th.
I thought it was, yes. Okay, so our next meeting will be October 11th. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.